Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request for Michael. Thank you so much for that. For those interested requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below in the info box. I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. And this is for Jekyll and Hyde Together Again from 1982. Now, I had heard of this film before. I don't remember how I had heard of this film. I don't know if it was one of those VHS documentaries and this was not talked about but shown. Like they show a lot of images, or if I was just looking up films of the 80s and trying like, oh, I've never heard of that one. I don't know how. But I remember the cover, and then the title was unique. But to be honest, it didn't look that good of a movie because again, you look at the poster and the title, it just didn't scream like, oh, this will be good. But surprisingly, I thought this was really good. This was actually a really funny movie, and I would say underrated. Now I don't want to prop it up so much like it's the second coming or anything, but this I was surprised by. This was, I thought, a lot of fun. It stars Mark Blankfield. If you remember Robin Hood Men in Tights, he's the guy who played Blinken. He was also the star of The Jerk 2, but this is a lot better than The Jerk 2. You also have Bess Armstrong. I always thought she was cute. Liked her ever since I saw her in Jaws 3. Tim Thomerson, he's in the film. Of course, later will be in the Transformers movies, Doll Man, Uncommon Valor, among others. And what I did not realize is that this plays out a lot like Airplane. Like those type of comedies. Because I thought, okay, it's going to be, I don't know what kind of comedy I thought it would be, but I didn't. Is that Airplane like parody type of feel to it, and I didn't think that would be the case, but it just made it a lot sillier and goofier and very cartoonish. It did make me laugh. The plot is Mark Blankfield is a surgeon who's very respected, but he's getting ready to retire. I mean, even the titles, like the way the titles pop up, and then someone sniffs the titles up like cocaine. I thought, okay, that's kind of an interesting way to do your title sequence. And also, Joel Silver was an executive producer, which I thought was kind of interesting. But he's in the midst of surgery, and you have these nurses that have the mask, but they have a lipstick on their mask as well. And they're talking like, "Doctor, you're so bitchin'." I'm like, what? And he tells about how he's going to replace surgery with drugs, and the crowd's like, yeah, like, they love their drugs. And throughout the film, these stuff would pop up that would make me giggle or make me chuckle. I mean, the plot is like he's retiring. He wants to work on this powdered drug, which that'll lead to the Jekyll and Hyde thing. But it's also a big case for cocaine. It's a hell of a drug. His fiancée is Bess Armstrong. Her father is a big part of the hospital. Her father wants Mark Blankfield to stay because we need you to do this total surgery on this rich guy who wants all of his organs replaced. I think Mark says, well, you just stick up his ass. And the other guy, he doesn't have an ass. That's the other thing he needs that you need to do surgery on. He doesn't have an ass. I just like that. Stick up his ass. He doesn't have an ass. Or, like, they're in an elevator, and there's a nun, and someone just kisses her later, and then just walks off. It's moments like that that I didn't expect. For example, when Mark's looking at his mice, that he's experimented this drug on. One's like huddled and depressed. They listen to the next, and the mouse, he's hung himself. I thought that was a fun visual gag. Or there's a bit where he's doing calculations and he gets there's a knock on the door. It's like, oh, I'm sorry to bother you. Oh, no problem. He closes the door and walks away. And you hear another knock. Now, what does this person want? So I just like the idea of, I'm sorry to bother you. Oh, no problem. And then, this is a very un-PC joke. They were never get away with it, but... So she says, oh, we have a woman and there's a foreign object stuck to her vagina. And he's like, what? So he has to write it down to spell it out. And, oh, vagina, okay. So he goes to the room. He's like, okay, what's the foreign object? And there's the woman. And then out pops up an Asian guy speaking just like gibber, like Asian. So the foreign object stuck to her is an Asian guy stuck to her. I know I feel that's wrong for me to laugh at, but my God, I did not expect that. And I'm like, okay, this time is actually pretty funny. At least to me. Even, like, he's doing experiments with the powder, and, oh, I'm too tired. So he falls asleep. So the straw, as he's snoring, gets stuck right up his nose. He wakes up, then he falls back, and he actually sniffs all of it up. And his version of Hyde is he gets like a gold tooth that says love on it. A gold ring with practical makeup pops out of his finger. So like his finger, the skin opens up and a ring pops out. So he just becomes like a cocaine-fueled douchebag. That's what Hyde is. And even like a necklace with a razor pops up. And then it'll go back to him finding this woman, which I think was in Pretty Darlings, or there was a film I reviewed not that long ago that I know this lady was one of the stars of. So as Hyde, he'll go with her and they have a lot of sex. But then when he's back to Dr. Jekyll, he's very frazzled and guilt-ridden and goes back to his fiancée. And it's this back and forth, while all this other crazy stuff's happening. Like this rich guy who wants all this surgery, he wants a good pair of balls, and then this guy's like, I ain't giving you it. Maybe I'll give you one, I ain't giving you both. Like he's upping the price, and all of a sudden it's $1 million. Okay, I'll give you them. You'll like these. I just like the way he says, I'll take the $1 million. You'll like these. I don't know why. I know comedy's subjective. It's just based on the delivery of the dialogue, the timing, having such low expectations, and like when Dr. Jekyll, Mark Blankfield goes in to see his fiancée and he maybe makes love, and then the dad finds out and has a gun on him, and then he's like, I said I'll do the surgery on the old guy. You will? Okay. Fuck your brains out, kid. And walks away. Or like Tim Thomerson, he's a plastic surgeon, but he's also get the idea that he's gay, because when he sees a bit what Mars, you think that's bad. He opens it up and he's wearing like women's clothes. But as he's talking, he's supposed to be doing this breast thing. He forgets. And says, oh my God, he stops it. So when the woman gets out, the tits are like this big. Oh, I'll fix it. No. Don't fix it. My husband will love these. He's got like tits the size of beach balls, and just walks off. That's the kind of movie it is. Either you're in for it or you're not. Like, there's a joke where when he's Hyde, he steals a car and there's a woman steered, so he sticks her head in the convertible and closes it so her head's stuck, and she's screaming ah. So as she's driving, it cuts to a couple, and just I think it's the deadpan nature that the woman's like, how did she put it? Because she doesn't know what it is, but she hears the oh, better pull over. It's an ambulance. And it passes by. It's like, what? So I just the deadpan nature of, better pull over. It's an ambulance. I just there's enough consistent laughs I got a kick out of it. Like, there's a bit where Tim Thomerson's talked to the Bess Armstrong, and he looks over at her and says, "Have I told you look lovely tonight?" "No." "Well, that's because I hate women." Just, spoilers. I should have said that earlier. Spoilers. He goes back and forth. Then he gets to a point where he's ready to do the surgery, but he's changing even without taking the drugs. It's getting more sporadic. He won this deal for $500,000, so he's got to do this seminar, but he does it as Mr. Hyde. He has like these three hot women. He's doing like a song number. He just chased. Then they tried to do a little bit like black and white, like it's the old Jekyll and Hyde movie. And then pretty much, I mean, I wouldn't say there's a resolution, but it's more, he's going to be in a three-way relationship. Where it seems like the more Bess Armstrong hears about Hyde, she wants to experience Hyde, and it sets crazy ways. And then the more the other girl hears about Jekyll, she wants to now experience those nice ways. Because they've been not denied the other side. And they both drag them away as like, you're ours now. Which, I mean, lucky guy. Two beautiful ladies, they want both pieces of you. Plus he won that $500. Hey, I mean, happy ending for him. But then you see the grave of Robert Louis Stevenson, who came up with his story, and he's literally rolling in his grave saying, "They ruined this, you bastards, you ruined my story." I thought that was, the old phrase, "Oh, he's rolling in his grave." They literally do that gag. And to be fair, I don't think I've actually seen that gag done, where you literally see someone rolling in their grave. You hear the phrase, but I thought that was kind of a funny way to end the movie. And with these type of movies, not all the jokes will work, of course. But I thought this had a good enough batting percentage that I thought it was funny. It was a lot better than I thought it would be. And I don't know if people out there would feel the same way, but I like Mark Blankfield. I thought he did a good job. He was a lot better here than The Jerk 2. It was cool to see Tim Thomerson. I think... Let me make sure real quick, so I'm not making stuff up. Yeah, Cassandra Peterson, Elvira's in this as busting nurse, so she had a bit part in it. Krista Errickson, that was the other girl. Yeah, Little Darlings. Not Pretty Darlings, Little Darlings. That was the film, Little Darlings. She played Ivy, so she was the one that Hyde was getting all the sex with, while Bess Armstrong was the more nice fiance. And that idea, I like the idea that by the end of it, they kind of want what the other had. I thought that was kind of, I don't know, I like the little detail. But yeah, Krista Errickson, beautiful lady. I do remember not minding her in Little Darling, so I think later she did a lot of just TV work. Episodes of 21 Jump Street, Tour of Duty, Beverly Hills 90210. Oh yeah, she was in the 1994 film The Paperboy, which I did see that, but I think she had a bit part in that, like supporting role. So And I don't even know, what does this have on IMDb, just curiosity. Because it came out in 1982 and it flopped. It completely flopped. And I think this has a Blu-ray from Olive Films. 6.1, so actually higher than I thought. And Jerry Belson was the director. I don't know what else he's done. He was a writer on the Tracy Ullman Show. He was a writer that helped make the Odd Couple TV show. So, oh, he was an uncredited writer on Close Encounters of the Third Kind. An uncredited writer. That's interesting. I wonder how that all came about. And I guess he helped develop the Odd Couple for the. Actually, let me double check real quick. Yeah, he helped develop the TV show The Odd Couple. Because obviously it was based on the movie and among other stuff, but he developed the TV show and he wrote for the show. So, there you go. But yeah, much better than I thought it would be. So, thank you, Michael. I thought this was a nice surprise. And, yeah. I would call it underrated. I will put underrated in the title if I remember. Because funnier than I mean, it's funnier than a lot of comedies I've seen. Well, I mean, they don't really make a lot of comedies, but I mean, Baywatch with The Rock or some of these other, I just Red One. You try to be funny with The Rock. It wasn't. So yeah. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.